Hello, everyone. Welcome in. We'll get started in about a minute. Just let other people come in as well. All right, awesome. I think we can get started now. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming to SARC's Department Spotlight. So we will be spotlighting different internships and careers in sociology today. Next slide, please. So I'll go ahead and begin by introducing myself. My name is Emily Ramon. I am actually a fifth year transfer student and my major is sociology and I am minoring in Chicanx Latinx studies. Next slide, please. So today I want to start by posing the question to you all, what are you going to do with a sociology degree? I know this question can be very hard because personally, right, as a student myself and being a sociology major, like I know the struggles of kind of deciding what career path I want to take due to how versatile the degree is. So there's many options out there that you can choose from. So just something to have in mind. And I did want to share on the next slide, like what it can actually look like once you put your degree into action post-graduation. So here we have previous First Lady Michelle Obama, and we have Martin Luther King Jr. And fun fact, both of these icons actually majored in sociology. So as you can tell, you can get very far with this degree and do follow your like goals and your values that you have. So there's definitely a lot of options out there. And I just want to kind of give you all an example of how far you can really go with this degree. So I'm actually gonna share my screen, Carissa, if you can give me access. I will be showing you now some career exploration tools. So let's see. So we will begin with Focus to Career, which is actually a website provided by the Division of Career Pathways here at UCI. And you first log in here at the DCP website and you click Get Started with Focus to You. Also, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat and we can either answer them as we go or we'll take some time at the end to answer them. So it'll look like this, and you can actually take different assessments. As you can tell, I took like a work interest assessment previously, but you can take like values assessment, personality assessment, skills assessment, leisure assessment, or a combination of all of them. So it's like really good for you all to kind of start learning more about your identity, your values, because this can all definitely play a part when it comes to choosing a career. And I wanted to show you all here at the bottom, there are options for you to explore the possibilities, such as like this one right here. I will click like, what can I do with a major from UCI? So you just look for your major, which would be sociology, or if you're a double major, you can look for your other major as well. It's down here. So you click sociology here, and it'll give you a bunch of options of the different careers available with this degree. So for example, we have like child support services, we have career guidance counseling, you can be a family caseworker, a government service executive, healthcare employee. Like I mentioned, it's just so versatile and there's so many options. And one of them that I did want to highlight is this first one right here, just career guidance counseling. Just to show you a little bit more of what the website shows you. So it gives you a little overview of what this career is about. And then it gives you some job tasks that you may be like interested in doing, like what a day-to-day might look like. And in terms of like interest, the pink is what a counselor does, like the main, some good matches of, I guess, like skills or interests you may have. So if you're a social person, as you can see, this is a big one for those who are social. Investigative as well is really high up there, being like conventional, artistic. So these are just different ways so you can match yourself with different careers after taking assessments through this website. And here are more skills such as helping, listening, reasoning, teaching, values. It tells you the work conditions of like exactly what you might like what you might be doing, such as like teamwork, doing a lot of email work, contacting the public. And I wanted to highlight this part right here, the education requirements. So as you all can see, some of the majors from UCI that can be used towards this career would be like education, philosophy, psychology, and here you go, sociology is one of those. And other common majors are like counseling psych, school psychology. And also I did want to highlight this as well. Master's degrees and PhD degrees might be required, given that oftentimes this is a career path that people take right post like getting your bachelor's. Some of us go off to grad school with our sociology degrees and try to do certain careers. So for example, with sociology, I may be interested in counseling, right, at the community college level or something like that. Like that's actually a personal interest of mine. So in order to do that, I did my research and I found out that I need a master's degree in some form of counseling. So for me, it would be like counseling education, which is something I would do post UCI with my sociology degree. I would try to get a master's in counseling in education. So as you can tell, there's a lot of options out there. And yeah, I just wanted to highlight this career path a little bit. And then let's see if I can go back. We can look at another one. Another really common one that people, after they do their sociology degree, where is it? They go into social work right here. A lot of folks like to go into social work, and it just gives you an overview on how to get there. Once again, similar information, the different kinds of like interests someone may have who is trying to get in this area, the different skills, the values, and I wanted to go to the education requirements. So you can be doing any major in these areas, and here are some of the degrees required, such as a bachelor's or a master's. And then where is sociology? Oh, here it is. So as you can tell, sociology is here, but there's also a lot of different other degrees that fall under social work that you can go in with as well. So now that I went over this one, I really wanted to highlight, which one is it? It is occupational outlook. This one is similar. It has some similarities as well. So let's say we look up career counseling. It'll tell us details as well, such as like how much career counselors make in terms of every year. And then, so for example, the median pay in 2020 was $58,000, around $27 an hour. It tells you more on like what degree, right? You need a master's degree, and it tells you how fast it is growing. So the other like focus to you also tells you these details as well, but this is just a different website that you can use to provide resources as well. And then, for example, we can look up, how about a professor, right? You can also be a professor at one point if you want to get like your master's in sociology. You can be a professor in sociology as well. So post-secondary teachers, it also gives you that information of like median pay from 2020 was 80,000, and it tells you how to become one here with the level of education. So oftentimes it'll tell you that you need, I'm assuming it's a master's or a PhD. So yes, so typically you must have a PhD or a master's degree. So this is just another option, right? That what you can do with sociology is go to grad school. But I know there are other options as well. If you don't want to go to grad school, I know that's not everyone's goal. And oftentimes, sorry, y'all, you can do like nonprofits right after, or you can also do like work in higher education settings. I've met folks who graduate from UCI and end up being like academic advisors for a certain school as well. So there are options out there. And then this website right here, the American Sociological Association, also provides you resources such as like career resources for undergrad students, and what people are doing with their bachelor's degree in sociology, kind of like what I talked about right now. So you can definitely on your own time look into this, look at statistics, look at different resources that they have to offer here. Okay, I think I'm done sharing my screen, Carissa. How do I? Sorry, I'm trying to like, here you go, stop share. So yeah, please, if you have any questions, I know it's a lot, feel free to just put them on the chat. I don't want to like keep going if you are concerned about something or need more information on something I just showed you. So now going more into internships and job exploration. Oops.
Hang on one second, getting the presentation.
Okay, so internship, thank you, Carissa. Internship and job exploration tools. So these are some other resources that we have on campus and even off campus. So for example, Handshake is one that's offered once again through UCI's Division of Career Pathways. So it's kind of similar to, how do I say this? It's kind of like LinkedIn, but not LinkedIn. So you do have to like set up your profile, and sometimes companies will reach out to students based off their profiles and their interests. So it's kind of similar to LinkedIn. There's a lot of options to look for jobs. So you can do a lot of research in terms of like filtering things out. Like, let's say you want to work on campus at UCI, you can definitely do that. Or if you want to work off campus, you can filter that out. And there are a lot of amazing opportunities when it comes to like sociology, job interests, such as like I mentioned, like working at nonprofits or doing an internship as well while you're at school or after you graduate. And LinkedIn is another amazing resource that you can use where you can look at, oftentimes you could also filter out the different careers people are doing. So you can look at UCI alumni and see those who majored in sociology, what are they doing now? And you can also look for people. So for example, when I go on LinkedIn and I'm interested in like a certain career and I want to reach out to people, I look for certain, like, let's say I want to work at Fullerton College. I will look up Fullerton College. I will look up their employees who are working at like the EOPS office or some form of like resource office that I want to work with. And I will find people there who are currently working there, and I'll reach out to them and ask them like, hey, is it possible for us to do an informational interview? And we will get to that further down the line. So like just reaching out to people, LinkedIn is a great way to do so. And then the SARC internship database is another great resource. So if you do go on our website, you can definitely look into all the different internships offered to students that we have found for you all. And it is also split up based on interest in terms of like, do you want to work at a higher education, in a higher education setting, or do you want to work more like in a nonprofit, or do you want to work in like a corporate office? You know, the possibilities are endless. You can definitely look into that, and we'll provide a link later on as well. And finally, another one that's not on here, like two that are not on here, is Indeed.com. It's another great way for you to find jobs and internships. I know I've looked for jobs through there as well. It's pretty simple. You go in, you look for jobs, and then I believe you can also submit your resume or CV, and then that also kind of makes the process a little bit easier. And also, higher ed jobs is a new one that I found out about recently. So this website gives you, it's more like you can look for like professional career jobs like post graduation, but I have also seen some jobs such as like looking for like student help in certain schools. So I have found jobs like that through there as well. So it is an option that you can look into also post graduation as well. So that's another great website. Next slide, please. So just continuing with some more exploration tools of internship and job, oops, sorry everyone, internship and job exploration. So here are just some tools that are recommended to you all. Going back to what I said, contacting people. So doing your research, networking through like LinkedIn or Handshake, or just sending an email or asking someone you know if they know of someone who may be in a certain area or career. And then once again, have your resume or cover letter or both of those like pretty polished, right? Like you can do the DCP help, or we can help you here at the SARC with your resume / cover letter. And then always follow up through an email. So after connecting with them, make sure to follow up and say like, thank you for meeting with me, just so they're familiar with you. And it's also, I feel like taking their time out of their day to meet with you is something really like, it just shows that you make that impression, that first impression when you email them back with the thank you note. And this goes back to my networking comment of how expanding your circles in connection is so crucial in terms of like finding jobs or internships. Like oftentimes what I've heard is that people who find like jobs in undergrad or post undergrad, it's because they knew someone who knew someone who knew someone. But it's just like, that's just like extreme. But right, you know someone in a certain place, and then that's how you can get a job. So this is just one way, of course, right? Sometimes you don't know someone in that network and you still are able to apply and get the position. But definitely having networks helps a lot, because then you have that impression of everyone who like met you already. They're like, yeah, I met them before. So, they know who you are and you gave that first impression. Next slide, please. So like I mentioned, how to prepare for a job or internship hunt. Always have your resume and CV like ready to go and have it polished. So here's just one example of many of a resume that you can have. And going back to that, like I mentioned, SAR can definitely help you polish this. So we do have appointments and things like that I'll cover at the end as well. So always have your resume or CV ready and polished. And what I like to do when I look for different like internships or jobs, I have this one like master copy CV, which is like just one big one that has all my experiences throughout the years. So this one CV that's really like, it's like long. And then I have everything that I've done ever. Like if I worked at Starbucks, I have it on there, right? Just because that's my experience and I did that job and it goes on there. So I have it there. And what I do is when I'm applying to certain jobs and they're asking for a resume, I take things out of that big like master CV and I add it to a resume, like which is like a page. Majority of the time it will be around a page. And I just add like what I think is most important in terms of the job I'm applying to. So whatever skills or experiences I feel aligned to that job or internship opportunity, I take little things out of that master CV. So I think that's a great way to organize yourself. And I've like told others who also think it's another great way to get organized. So we can definitely help with that at SARC as well. Next slide, please. Okay, so remember I mentioned like informational interview. So this is basically what it is, a short like definition. It's just meaning to learn about real life experience of someone working in a field or a company that interests you. And if I can just share my screen really quick, Carissa, to show, I'm just gonna show you all some cool resources. So Give me a second. Okay. Okay, so it's loading. So one of them is the Eater Network. So this is another great resource that UCI provides for you all. And I believe that you can definitely keep using it after you graduate. I'm not 100% sure. Carissa can correct me if I'm wrong. But this is another great resource to connect with UCI alumni where you get paired up with the mentor. And for this, like I'm not in it right now, but if you do connect with alumni, you can look for certain ones who interest you in terms of career, right? It goes back to like looking at their careers, seeing what they do, and then connecting with them and asking them if they're interested in, like letting them know you're interested in their career field, and they can definitely mentor you and guide you through their process and what they went through. And here is a quick, just like 2 pages of what an informational interview is and exactly step by step how to go about these informational interviews. And it's back to that, right? What I talked about, reaching out to people, asking them to meet, and then having a set of questions prepared for them, such as like what a day-to-day looks like, what's the hardest part about being in this certain field, or what career, what like majors did they do in their undergrad or at the master's level that got them to where they are now. And here are some suggested questions that you can ask them. And yeah, definitely step by step. This will all be shared with you all as well. So, okay, I can stop sharing my screen now. All right, so finally, some resources for you all that we talked about throughout this whole presentation. The Division of Career Pathways is another great resource outside of SARC that can help you with attaining your professional goals or your career goals as well. So they do have like one-on-one advising. I know they have in person, they used to have walk-ins, but now I'm pretty sure you can still do like a consultation with one of their peer like students who work there and look at resumes. So definitely recommend checking them out. And finally, the SARC, here we are. Definitely come check us out with student consultations as well. So you can meet with me if you are thinking of majoring in sociology, or you are doing sociology right now and you might be more interested in like what classes I took. We can talk about anything that has to do with sociology. I will be graduating this year, so I have some experience in like sociology, grad school, and just looking into careers in the future. So definitely come talk to me if you're interested. There's also other peer consultants though that may help you as well with these goals that you may have. And we also offer like internship help as well, scholarship help. We offer a lot of help in terms of like career professionalism. So definitely come check us out, and we'll put the link in the chat for you all to be able to create like an appointment. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you all. Thank you everyone for coming. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, like please feel free to add them in the chat. And now I can do my best to answer all of them. It can be anything, even like, I don't know. Let's see. Okay, here is that psych website I was telling you all about. I'll put it in the chat for you all. So you can check us out there and you can make an appointment to talk about anything that maybe you are left here with like questions, right? Or concerns about certain things. Even navigating like focus to career, I can help you with all that as well. But if we don't have any questions, I think this is where we end. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming. Please feel free to email us or make an appointment with myself or another peer consultant or graduate student as well. Thank you everyone for coming.